What is going on, everyone? This is the way too early Houston Texans mock draft. Look, when you're 1-11-1, there is no happiness right now as a fan. This is the worst the Houston Texans have ever looked. I have called this the worst coached and worst team and franchise history. It just hasn't been good. And, we had so much hope going into this season, right? We had a couple questions. Number one, can Davis Mills make you not take a quarterback at number one? Can he even make you have the question, do I not need to draft one with the first overall selection? And that question was answered by week 6. And yes, you do need to take one because Davis Mills is just not it. With the coaching staff, a lot of people weren't excited for Lovie Smith, but we were like, okay, this is a proven guy who's been to the Super Bowl as a head coach and as a coordinator, and this team just looks so bad. And for me, the clock is ticking for these Houston Texans. I really don't want to be a poverty franchise, guys, but we've had two coaches in the past 2 years. We've had 5 wins in the past 2 years. That is mediocre. That is abysmal. And we have to watch this, guys. We are not excited to watch the Texans every single Sunday anymore because I am not. But I do it because I am a fan for whatever damn reason. And I need to start seeing this organization make the right decisions moving forward. For Nick Caserio, for me, you are on the hot seat. I don't know another GM who got 3 coaching hires in 3 years. I don't know another GM who had 5 combined wins in 2 years and is still here. Normally, you clean house, right? But before you worry about the draft, before you worry about free agency, Abby, we are going to have to worrying about a brand new coaching staff. And once again, the pressure is on Nick Caserio. This is the way too early Houston Texans mock draft. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. You could already go ahead and cue the jingle. Roger Goodell's walking up to the podium. He has the envelope in hand. And with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans are selecting Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. This is a no-brainer. This is everyone's number one overall as well. 8,020 career passing yards at Alabama. He adds along with 75 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, won the Heisman in 2021. Bryce Young is just that dude. A lot of people have some concerns about him being only 190. That's okay. You're coming to Houston. You're coming to Texas. We have the barbecue to fatten you up. One thing I want to point out, he did win the Heisman in 2021. This season doesn't really light it up on the stat sheet. Only 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Still very good numbers, right? However, he had a very less talented wide receiver room than what Alabama has had in years. There was no more Jameson Williams like he had last year. He went in the first round. There was no John Minchie. He was drafted by our Houston Texans. Yet Bryce Young was still able to put up first round numbers. He would have been the first overall pick last year, and he definitely needs to be the number one overall pick this year. When you're talking about culture and leadership, right? Nick Caserio, this is the guy who's been playing football ever since he can walk. He comes in with W's. He comes in with that winning culture. Like I said, he won the Heisman. Dude has been around nothing but success, and that is what a 1-11-1 football team needs. And then you talk about what he does on the field. Good arm strength, very good accuracy. When he gets out the pocket, he's not trying to run first, right? He does want to move the ball through the air. Very smart. He does take the unnecessary hits, right? That's why he kind of gets compared to Deshaun Watson. But elite vision when he's in the pocket and when he's out, the accuracy is off the charts. He's able to progress some very good stuff on the football field. That's why I said a lot of people really value his IQ. And the Houston Texans just need something at this point. You need to take Bryce Young number one overall. Don't get cute. It's not CJ Stroud. It sure as shit ain't Will Levis. Bryce Young is the future for the Houston Texans. Watch what happens as soon as his name gets called. The fans are going to erupt. You're going to start to feel the love for the Houston Texans back again in Houston because honestly, it is not there right now. This is like I said, this team is one of the worst in franchise history. A change is coming. Bryce Young is that change. And let's go ahead and draft his buddy, not his buddy, but who's going to be his buddy, and that is Jordan Addison, wide receiver from USC. My number one wide receiver on the board. I do think he is better than the guy from TCU. 59 catches, 875 yards, 8 touchdowns. He did that with Caleb Williams. The year before that, before he transferred, he was at Pittsburgh, 100 catches, 1,593 yards, 17 touchdowns. So it is successful and is productive no matter where he went. A very talented route runner, ability to make great and spectacular catches, and he is just very quick as soon as the ball is snapped. One of the concerns that a lot of people have is like he hasn't really gone against a lot of press coverage, but I do think that gets better in time. Imagine a wide receiver core with Jordan Anderson, Nico Collins, John Menchie. We haven't even talked about the Bryce Young and John Menchie connection, that which we will have whenever he gets drafted here. But Jordan Addison is your for sure number one wide receiver. And this is the future. It is Young to Addison all day, every single Sunday. The fans are bought, and this is exactly what the Bengals did. They drafted Joe Burrow, then they go out and get Jamar Chase. Is that the blueprint? Do you go out and make this offense explosive? Because, like I said, you're going to have to go after a coaching hire. And whether that's the OC from the Eagles or Ben Johnson, the OC from the Lions, things are going to get very interesting. But nonetheless, this was the Houston Texans first round mock draft for me. Let me know how I did. Let me know if I did bad. As always, go Texans. The future is going to be bright with Bryce Young and Jordan Addison. You guys have a very blessed day.